Wow. Well done, buddy.
Oh,
dude, well
man.
done.
Thank you, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kaz Rodriguez.
Hello.
Yeah. Welcome to Drumeo.
Thank you for having me. It's been
Absolutely.
a long time waiting.
It's been a long time in the works. We've been chatting, I think, all the way back from 2013.
Yeah.
So it's like, what, 6 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, I was about, I think, 5 years old, I think.
Yeah, you didn't have the beard, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, I just grown. Like.
Yeah. Well, it's, I'm glad to have you on here. If you guys don't know who Kaz is, you got to check him out. He's a great drummer, as you just heard. But what I love about you is the music you create. You're more than just a drummer, you're a songwriter.
Yes. So
yeah, and so explain a little bit about what you do with that.
So my thing was basically just making like just lots of drum tracks that I would, you know, that would help me try and get my breath back.
Yeah, take your time, man. Take your time.
Woo!
Take a deep breath.
So I'm just trying to get my. Well, for me, it was primarily just about learning with music because I needed something that inspired me more than just a click. Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to figure out ways on how to do that when I was a kid, you know. I mean, I used to watch a lot of Dave Weckl backing tracks, mm-hmm. like being played with him on these little drum festivals, and I was just like, wow! I mean, I'm sure you've seen like these, like
Oh,
Garden Wall and all these kind of,
Island Magic, Big B, Little
Oh,
B.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
all those, man.
I used to like that, and I was just thinking, I just want to feel like I can do something like that. It was a bit, hard to ask Dave Weckl and go, Dave, can I play along to this track, because it might help me do this. So I just came up with this concept with, like, over time, and I'm still learning through that, was just making music that's fun and people can really enjoy it through music, and having things that were also relevant for exercises. So I just made it a bit more fun. I just wanted you guys to have fun with it. So,
well, Kaz has got quite a few albums on iTunes and online where you can download, and there are the drumless versions of these songs.
Yeah.
And I practiced to many of them as I was developing. I still love listening to them and playing along to them.
Thank you.
We had Sarah Thauber a couple weeks ago, and she played one of the tracks. You've had Chris Coleman play to some of the tracks. You've had Sput play to some of the tracks. So these tracks are getting out there, and they're really cool. And what I love about them is they're very musical, and they're very purposeful with what kind of stuff you can practice behind them. And that's kind of what we're talking about today.
yeah.
Learning drums through music.
Exactly.
So, quick couple housekeeping things before we get into it. Follow Kaz online. Instagram is at Kaz Drums, K-A-Z Drums.
That's what.
Got it? Whew. And then Facebook is just at Kaz Rodriguez. You can just search his name, too. He's very searchable and findable online.
I hope so.
Yeah. And your latest album just came out about a week before you came out here, right?
Yeah, actually 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
It's called synesthesia. It's
Yeah.
a very hard thing to spell, but synesthesia is basically about what I have. It just represents what I hear in my head, and I see a lot of colours, you see, so that's how I write my music.
And that first song was called Raga. Is that from the Nate Lewis newest album?
Yeah, it's from the newest album. It's from Synesthesia. It's the 4th album. They're all drumless, so all my albums are always drumless, because I released them so you guys could have your sound put on the music, and it's always a joy to watch everyone play in their own form. That's the reason why I do it.
I love it.
Thank you.
Giving back to the drum community. It's great, man.
Absolutely.
So you guys are going to have a chance to win one of those albums. We're going to give a digital copy away, 5 of them, to anyone who posts a comment. Once this lesson hits YouTube, just post a comment below. What was your favorite part of it? What you loved about Kaz? Whatever. And we'll randomly select 5 people. We'll email you a copy with album artwork as well, too.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Also, download the MP3s in this lesson. If you're in Drumeo and you're watching this on the Drumeo page, make sure you download the resources. There are loops that we're going to be going through, and a full song that he's going to play at the end. That's a whole play along that you can practice along with as well. And I love this concept, learning drums through music. It's how I learned. I think it's how a lot of drummers should learn. And there's no sheet music to this because we're learning through music. So that all being said, Kaz, take it away, man.
Thank you very much. Also, is it okay to just say thank you to the companies that have...
Please
really
do,
helped us?
of course.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Zildjian for actually supplying the cymbals, Remo drum heads, Tama drums, and LP percussion, which is, you see this little baby right here.
That's a cool little snare there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's great to put your drink on as well.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Doubles as a cup holder.
There we go. And also Roland. Special shout out to Roland.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'll go from here.
Go for it, man.
Brilliant. So the song that you just heard is Raga, and there's a key exercise in this. It's basically about displacement. So the way I figured this out in order to make it a song was very, very simple. I made accents. So the accents were coming through, was just pushing the 16th note to the right. So if we've got 16th notes, we just do it on the hi-hat for now. And I'm just going to do the accent, so you're going to hear this. It may confuse you at the start, but we're going to do this together. So I'm going to play a click through here. So it's up to tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So could you hear what was going on there? So it's just basically displacing the 16th note, and you're just pushing it to the right every single time. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a. So you're just repeating that in consistency. So this is how I actually developed the music. It started from the exercise. And this helped me understand how I could write music into this, fitting musical notation into it. So this was the first thing that I did with it. So we had the click, and you're going to hear the shaker as well. So it's just some form of foundation that really supports you to learn this exercise. So this is what I did. Could do some samba.
Right?
So, and what I did also is added claps to slap someone.
Yeah, yeah.
So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
Cool.
So it's a very simple concept, and it's always the hardest thing to think, oh, how can you make music into this sort of thing? It's percussion, right? And my whole thing is basically making sure that drummers, you know, we are musicians as well, because we are being musical around on the drums. You know, this is why we have things like toms. Even if you're just playing kick, snare, hi-hat, it's just embellishing some sort of characteristic, whether you're adding accents. Just by doing 16th notes, if you were to just do... It's one form of statement. But what we want to do is try to make it musical. That's why we do things like accents. We throw things like dynamics. And those things create a whole new world of... That's a Disney quote, I think.
Yeah.
From Aladdin.
Better be careful, man.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, dudes. So basically, we've got to make sure that we use these concepts to help us write music, like in terms of adding chords and notation. So what I did from there is I added more percussion to support it. So I added things like Eastern loops and things like that. That's one thing that I'm very much known for, is adding Eastern things, and triangle, apparently. Triangle in my music is so essential. Cowbell was overrated.
So you went to the triangle.
I went to the triangle.
Right.
Let's just bring the triangle back.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's cool. Let's give the guy in the corner in the orchestra a break. Let's just put it on the laptop, you know?
Yeah.
Let's do that. But so this is how it goes. So you can hear that? Now with the music. So now what we
yeah.
you get it now?
Yeah, if you guys didn't hear that, he actually put a melody to that same rhythmic pattern. So again, now we're not practicing with a piece of sheet music in front of your face.
Exactly.
You're listening to the actual sound of it.
Exactly.
Making those connections.
Exactly. And this what that does is it actually makes you focus more on the sonics rather than a piece of paper. I have no disrespect into reading sheet music and writing sheet music, because there are certain things, we have certain ways that we learn. Some people like to read, some people like to internalize it. For me, it's always been about listening, because I think that's the most valuable lesson that I learned to become a better drummer. So, those notes are just the same rhythm, but what you're doing is that you're embellishing it, just getting the notes right, basically. And then what I did is turned it into a groove. So we doing the 16th thing, that helps just by getting your accents right. So what I mean by that is if I play the loop and do the accents on the cymbals, this is the next step that I took before the groove. So again, let's do it with the melody. now you're exploring around the drums, right? You're being a bit more creative. Now that also helps you work on the song part. So you're making the loop sound like another song, another feel, a different emotion. So what I do now is I have to establish the groove, which is the most important thing.
Right.
Now, because it's all good going, oh, yeah, woo, you know, going crazy on it, but it's more about making sure that you establish the groove first. So I just do, say, eighth notes on the hi-hat and the snare on 2 and 4, right? So we're going to do the accents on the kick drum.
Okay.
So now this is another lesson. So now you're learning you're learning the accents with your foot. So now you're controlling the focus on here rather than on the hi-hats and the hands. So let's do it again. And now what we're going to do is just do 2 and 4 backbeat like this. So it'll just be. Right? And then just with the kick. So this is how it's going to go.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's it. So it's very simple.
Yeah.
But you just take that one idea and then you just want to take it wherever you can. And now you're inspired by making it a song.
Yeah, there was a lot just in what you just said there. You went from just playing it on the hi-hats, moving it into like the actual shots, playing it into a groove. It even goes beyond that and how you can hear how you write songs now. You start almost with the rhythm, and then you put the melody over top of that.
Exactly. And it just helps for me to do the drums last. I actually write them. It's weird, I do everything backwards. I write the music first, and what excites me is to know what I could do with the drums at the end. So I usually like finish a song, on average, usually I'll write a song I write a lot of songs. I really love writing music, and when I get so into it, I just don't leave the studio until I've finished it. And then I get home and then I'm like in bed just air drumming to myself to sleep, to just like, I'll be like, yeah, this is the part. And then I wake up in the morning, I'll be like, all right, let's continue. You know? And it's really cool because you internalize it. And I usually just save it on a USB. I play it in my car and I'm listening to it and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to it. And I'm tapping on the steering wheel. It's just that, and it's fun because you're learning, rather than playing with a metronome and just sheet music, it's just nice. Everyone loves listening to music. I mean, I think it's like a universal thing. You know, you're going to work, you're walking to work, you're driving to work, you're going to listen to some sort of music. Or an audiobook if you're a librarian. But it's cool. But that's the point of it. So,
well, I know it's the same exercise we've taught on Drumeo, but we practice it with a click. It gets boring. Be honest, it does get boring sometimes, right? But having a song like that, now we're not saying everyone should go and write their own music. If you can, great, but you have a lot of these kind of tracks in your albums that are specific to certain styles, like Raga would be on displacement. And you guys have the loop of that course, what we just played there, you can download it and you can practice that same thing. You want to play it for us one more time, just show some options of what you can do with those accents?
Sure. So do you want it in context with the whole?
Sure.
All the music? So I'll add, let's add some stuff so it gives more grit to it. Okay. Okay. You know, just play around with it and see where you can go. And when you start taking it to a different territory, you start moving it into different metronomic, you know, like in terms of tempo, you could do double time, which makes it sound crazier. So like at the end of the song that I just played, in the start, I was going double time like rock and just, I just felt like I wanted to go there. And it just makes you think, oh, maybe that might be cool. So doing it like this. It sounds like a whole new song.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pop, like, you know, Blink 182, I guess.
Totally, yeah.
But it's cool. So it's like that's what influences you to write, because you start hearing different voices from one theme. And that theme is just the accent in a melodic context.
It's also training your ear independence too, because you need to still hear those shots within all this other music.
Yeah.
Whereas with a metronome, it's just cut and dry. You can hear exactly where you're off and on.
Exactly.
So it's almost ear independence you're training too.
Exactly. It's just like, I mean, when I was a kid, especially when I was in university, because this whole thing, this songwriting thing, came up with, it all started and stemmed from me having music exams. So I would have a drum assessment. We call them assessments. I don't know if or recitals.
Yeah.
Don't know how that's what we say in Britain. Did a recital at a ball. But yeah, we. Sorry, it was a bad joke. So you know, and I really wanted to do these things to show my technique, because these were like technical exams, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know, you know, and I needed to control my technique. I needed to make sure that I was not overplaying, like from start to finish. It was more like play it in moments, and that's why I came up with this sort of concept.
I love it.
And I just played it through Logic, so yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, so you've done Raga, which is more like a displacement at workout. Give us another song, and maybe us as an audience can guess what you're practicing or what the focus is on the next song.
Sure. So the next song I'm going to do is, I think it's Stutter.
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 Okay. Don't tell us what the main focus is yet. We're going to guess it. Taylor, do you have it ready to go?
1 second, I do.
All right. Here we are.
Really nice. 2 seconds.
man. Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Where did you come from, buddy?
London town.
Wow. Okay, so I'll let you catch your breath. A couple of guesses came in.
Oh, okay.
Leah says, I hear some diddles, so maybe diddles focus. Aaron Linkmaster says metric modulation would be my guess. Mo Groove says syncopation. So yeah, Aaron L also says meter observations. Getting close.
Close.
Okay. Yeah, so it could be a lot of things.
It is.
Yeah.
The right answer is it's a lot of things.
Okay, well, there
That's
you
it.
go. Not a trick question.
Never a trick question.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, nice one, guys. Well done. So there is syncopation. It's ideally the whole song is 4/4. So a lot of people, what time signature is this? It's 4/4. However, there are fives being played against the 4. So the whole concept of this song was 2 parts. And I've got it right here, so I'm going to show you slowed down.
Right.
So I'm going to take you to the time machine game of how I actually started it. So we've got, this is cool, right? So I'm going to...
Go for it, yeah. We've got these as a download for the loops that we're going to demo right now, so go for it.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go... So by the way, I'm doing this on the fly, so I'm actually opening up. So for those who don't know, with Stutter, you might have seen this performed by Robert Spot-Searwright, really good friend of mine. And I mean, he's a massive inspiration to me and I'm sure to you guys. I wrote this song for him and I knew that, I was just listening to little things that he would do as a player and I thought it would be perfect for him. So this section was based on how to create a musical kind of syncopation, like so when you're doing grooves. So I'm just going to see here if this is the right part. Yeah, we go. So we've got that as reference. So what I'm going to do is slow it down first so you guys can understand what's going on. So you're hearing why I added like another kick is to make it interesting.
Sure. Okay.
Rather than just going, it's more like making sure there's some sort of interest. It's like, nobody wants to hear the same bar like of music, one bar of like just boom, ga, boom, ga. When you get to add flavor, it's nice to just go instead of, But in moments, it's nice. Like, even if you didn't want to do fills, just to set it up for something else, you could go... Just that boom, boom, guards. It's like, all right, guys.
Something's happening.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
So it creates that musical interest. And then musically, you understand it. The bass player will be like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. But it's not always about flash. But this exercise is to help you learn syncopation, ideally. But I tried so many things with this to see how it would work. So the whole concept of this is basically like this, is how these are the grooves that I did. Like, I'll do it slowed down first. So let's go, this is 140. So let's go, I'll say 110. So let's go into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw you were counting there, figuring out, and it is five
note groupings.
Yeah, five note groupings. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So, how I always figure accents out. I do 16th notes first, and then I keep the quarter notes on there. So it's always a good way to figure it out somehow. You know, left foot, cowbell, you want, you know, Thomas Lang setups, you know, whatever you want. Wherever you want.
So you can even, just to get the 5-note groupings down, you can just play that on the snare.
Yeah.
And what you did is took it to the next level and played a groove over top of it.
Yeah.
So now you're working on independence, syncopation, odd groupings.
Exactly.
So cool.
Thank you, man. And it's just like, then you start exploring different grooves. So that's how I started to go. So let's go up to normal tempo. And then this is how I ended up coming up with different ideas. So, you know, this like groove I really love because actually it was inspired by a friend of mine, Annika. Right, Annika, she's so good at that 5 world. Shout out to Annika because she's on the 5 world.
Yeah, big time.
She's cool. But so I did this kind of thing with it. So. Sounds like something different.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cool. Like you can that was quite an advanced like the level of group. But if you start to understand groupings, you know, it's and that's all it is. And I'll just put my left hand on here. Substitute for the kick drum.
Yep.
And it becomes a whole new. I keep doing the whole new world. I think we need some. I think we need some.
Been watching
Disney.
too much Aladdin, man.
I love Aladdin. That's my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a good one.
I'm sure you can see. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so there's different options you can do. So these are the things that I did, just to give you ideas. This is how I think with the accents. So. You get it, and so you know, and that's what's really cool, exploring different grooves within that one exercise.
Totally,
it's exciting.
Yeah, I could count like a dozen things you can do with just that one loop, and you have that loop. It's slowed down in the MP3 pack that we gave you. Okay, time is of the essence.
Okay.
Do you want to try another song?
Yeah. I guess what was the next song that I said I'll do?
I believe it's Clocks.
Clocks, yes.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So, same thing. Try to hear the exercise within this song, or the exercises within this song.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Come on.
man.
Dude, very good play.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
catch your breath. We have a lot of great ideas here. Some people are talking about odd times. Some people are talking about paradiddles and double paradiddles within the shot. Renee said paradiddles on steroids. Is that what you're
I like that. Paradiddles and steroids.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The name of the song might reference it too, Clocks.
Clocks, yeah.
What is
So
the focus?
it's focused on basically, again, just time and how you manipulate it.
Right.
So the way that I did this was doing this sticking that I've done since I was a kid. So when I was doing a solo section, I was using it in a chop element. There were parts in the song where I actually did the exercise as a groove, just to show it. So this is actually an exercise consisting of, I think it's like 12 beats. So it's basically 2 rudiments, so a triplet, and then a paradiddle. So this is how it goes slowly. So right? So I'll do it even slower than that, just for context. Right?
Cool. Yeah.
So the key thing about this is the dynamics. So I've always made sure that I do the accents first. Do that. So what could you hear in this?
I heard a lot of stuff. Hey, what time signature was this song in, by the way? People are asking.
It's 6/8.
6/8.
Yeah, or 6/4,
Okay.
however you please.
Yeah.
So this is actually, so the whole concept of you heard loads of 4s, you heard, you know, this is why this grouping is perfect for this song. So I did this exercise for that sort of element of accent. So I did the... That's what I used to say things a lot just to make sure I could get it in my head. A lot of the time, people that I've actually taught in the past as well, they always say it's easy to hear it, but then to play it, it comes out different, right? So, and I was always told by this guy that used to teach me when I was a kid. Actually, because I couldn't afford drum lessons, so I'm self-taught. So this guy was a drum teacher, but he used to let me come in for like 5 minutes, and he used to tell me, if you can say it, kid, you can play it. He used to call me punk. Listen, punk.
Listen, punk.
Listen, punk.
Yeah.
This is the deal, right? Like, he was proper, like, he was a jazz guy, and he used to play with marching band sticks. So he gave me a pair, and I used to be like, man, this is definitely not drumsticks. These are trees. So he taught me a valuable lesson with learning dynamics through a heavy stick to take control of it. So, and that's what I did. I learned these accents through this. So this is that concept. Da. So I used to figure out stickings for it, and I found that triplet. And then the second bit, which is paradiddle with the accents. Being really relaxed, and this is what it ended up being. So I used to speed it up. So this is in a chop bass. I don't really use it like in everyday life, but it just helped me balance. It's a really good balancing exercise. So. So
Cool.
that was the concept.
Yeah.
And then I turned it into a fill. And that's the reason why you do the accents.
Just like that, guys.
But slower.
Yeah.
Work on it, and it's just the kind of thing that it really works in context. Now, doing this, you want to turn it into a groove. Always turn something that you can do as a rudiment into a groove, because that's where you get things like the Mike Clark thing, you get the, David Garibaldi, all those guys that does linear things. That's all from these rudiments they break down. I was a massive fan of that. So this is how it came up. So I basically put my right hand onto the hi-hat, and you do the exact same sticking. And this is how it goes.
Right? Awesome. Yeah.
So that's how you turn it into something really awesome. And then what you do is that you turn it into a groove, right? So this... with music.
Okay.
So. And that's what happens when you have a very old laptop.
Did it just die on you?
No, it's just crashed.
Very cool. So you took a pattern, a rhythmic pattern, or something you heard in the song. You created a sticking over top of it.
Yeah.
Practice it up, put it into a fill, and then in a groove.
Yeah.
Practice a line of music.
There you go.
Love it.
Thank you.
The whole concept is cool, and I think this is where a lot of drummers, like I said, they go to sheet music right away. They go to exercises and all that, but you can get a lot of exercises just out of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, music is the biggest lesson that you can ever have. I mean, that's how you... I mean, I remember when I was a kid, and this is me sounding like an old dude. Not that old.
When I was your age.
When I was your age, Sonny Jim. I'm an old man in rivers. But basically what I did is basically I played along to tracks without the clicks. I used to play along to the Jeff Porcaro thing. I love Jeff Porcaro's feels, that shuffle that even I can't do it to this day. It's just the feel you cannot touch. And I did this thing and I was just playing that, but it's still not him. It will never be him. But I love to feel like I was in his boots for a second. But I listened to the music. I used to be like, nope, it's not the same. But I just love it. But the music inspired me, in the background, not metronome. Yeah, and then that's how you start. And then I used to play Rosanna in a different way. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a different thing. So I used to do this. So it was like, dun, 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 so it's. I just put a little twist to it.
Totally.
And it was just it's different, but it allowed me to find some sort of voice that I was doing, just being fun with it. Yeah. Anyway, yes.
I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
What other albums or songs, I guess you shouldn't say albums, but songs, besides obviously the Rosanna Shuffle, but besides the ones that you've created, popular hits out there, songs that you practice to, what other suggestions do you have?
Well, for me, for footwork was always want to be starting something.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson. I grew up to watching Jonathan Moffat, and he's been one of my childhood heroes since I was embryonic. I was in and I would always listen to. I used to go to the shower only if this is me, like 2-3 years old, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would not go to the shower unless like Thriller or like Dangerous album or the Bad album. I would be only there if there was a stereo being played with Michael Jackson.
You're kidding.
No kidding. I had the tiles already marked in the bathroom, and I had one written as snare, like bass
That's
drum.
awesome.
And I used to do that. That's the only way I would have
yeah.
a shower. I'd be like, dun, 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 dun. So basically, using that song was a great reference for boom 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 boom, and I was just like always playing to that. So that's a really good thing that I feel is quite inspiring for exercises. Every song has an exercise for some reason. You know, like Sting, was it 7 Days?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And it's like there is something there, syncopation. That's a
Yeah.
lesson.
That's a lesson there.
You know?
I remember I used to listen to Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
the Immigrant Song. That was
Yeah.
a great workout for my foot. When I was getting into double bass, I listened to a lot of Dream Theater and Trivium for that
Yeah.
coordination. And so what do you guys think? Leave a comment below with songs
Yeah.
that you guys have practiced along to for specifics. Maybe it's an odd time, maybe it's a speed challenge. I know when I was doing lots of double bass, I did Dragon Force songs just to keep that endurance up the whole time.
Dragon Force, man.
Yeah. So leave a comment below with some of the songs that you guys have practiced to, because it'd be great to see your suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Dude, we're like close to the hour here.
Really?
Yeah, time
oh,
goes
wow.
by fast.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, is there anything you wanted to add? Maybe add any last minute tips? I know this is a great lesson, tons that you can get out of it. You might need to watch this twice. For beginners though,
Yeah.
what would you suggest beginners start with this kind of stuff?
Right, so with beginners, just start really with the most simple idea. A lot of beginners tend to come to a point where they go, I have these ideas, and they bring it out all in one go. Just start with one thing, do it slow, and take your time. And it's actually not a race. It's actually never a race to learn. I mean, I'm so inspired by, actually I'm always inspired by beginners, because what means a lot to me is knowing that someone who is starting out to play drums believes in themselves and they start to evolve ever so slowly. And
Yeah.
that little bit of progress, it means the world to me. And someone that is up there, whoever it is, you know, buddy, you know, and that is some sort of inspiration. You're just taking these stepping stones to evolve. So as beginners, don't race to be the fastest or the best. I mean, there's only you.
Right.
Be you, and really try to be respectful to yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back whenever you accomplish something.
Yeah.
You know, you deserve it. So yeah,
Very cool.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, we shall wrap it up here very soon. But thanks everyone for watching. Remember that there are play-alongs and loops that you can download from this lesson. Just click that download button. Practice some of these out. You obviously might not be able to take them to the level that Kaz took them, but you can keep it simple. If you want to just practice those 5-note groupings, just start with a single stroke roll and hit those shots, and then add some groove to it. But more so, I think, is to take this concept with you and try it out with other songs. You know, you don't always have to look for sheet music and for a metronome practice to keep your timing down. There's so much you can do just within music. Kaz has 5 albums now.
4.
4. You're working on your 5th already.
I'm working on my 5th one already, yeah.
He's got 4 albums you can check out that are loaded with great tunes, just like the ones that he played today. They're all available online. Make sure you follow him at Kaz Drums on Instagram, Kaz Rodriguez on Facebook, and check out his music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for having me. It's been a real honor as well.
Oh, you're welcome. You're always welcome here, man.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You got a new home here.
Thank you. I feel right at home.
Yeah. So for those watching on YouTube, 30 days from the day we posted this video, you can leave a comment, and 5 lucky winners will get a digital copy of his 4th album, his latest album. And for those of you who are Drumeo members, we're going to be also filming a whole course that expands on this. It's called Exercises Within the Music, basically.
Yes.
And we're going to be digging deeper into the things that you can do with music and your practice. It's going to be awesome. Deeper. A whole new world
A whole new world.
will open up.
I'm actually on a magic carpet, so...
Yeah, you actually are.
Dude, this is meant to be.
It's be. It's surreal. Okay, so we're going to get you to play us out.
Uh-huh.
Now, before he plays us out, this is the song that is included as a full play along for this lesson, okay? And this song is called On the Train, set this song up, tell people how they can practice it once they download it, and then play us out with it.
Awesome. Yes. So, so I'll just kind of describe about
set
this.
us up with it. Yeah. What is the song about?
So the song is actually about the train. so, so I was just going somewhere like in an overground train, and it was just about going through a tunnel. And you'll hear it in the music. And the thing is that I've always written music. I've always write music based on color, and the one thing that helps me write is these cymbals. Have always been the guide. The drums have always been the foundation, but these have allowed me to create musical notes, which is what you hear in my tracks. So when I play this is yellow, this is blue.
Cool.
When I play this together, I get green. So it's like the color spectrum.
Right.
So I use those as musical notes because I know what notes this creates on the piano for me. So I just like immediately write it down. So this whole thing is based on the train. So I used specific sonics about this. So it's all about the train going into a tunnel and then stepping out, getting out the tunnel and going to the next stop. So hopefully you enjoy this track.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll leave you with this play along.